Welcome back, guys. Archer's Garage, and we got another project. We're going to do this little 22-inch, 5.5 horsepower. It's MTD, Tecumseh motor. It's okay, you know. I paid a little bit more than I wanted to for it. It's not a great machine. It's not, it's not like those big machines. You see, it's all open in here. It has a plastic drive gearbox in it. It's a light machine, but it is a two-stager. So it's a good Long Island machine. Got the plastic wheels on it that leak. Okay, we have new wheels, all right, and another carburetor for it, and these are steel. All right, so we're going to put all that on. Let's start off with, before we get to that, I'm just going to wipe down some of this area here. It's in the service position for now. We'll drag it over a little bit more. We'll pull the carb box off of it, get the carburetor on, and let's get some gas in it and see what it does. But in the meantime, let me just, while I have it turned, I'm going to start by ragging it, and we'll see what it comes out like. We'll clean this side. Clean the cleaner side, and then work to the dirtiest side, I guess. And so we'll start by working on it. Okay, guys, so we got the new carb on, and it didn't really need it. I had to swap a few parts over, from the replacement carb. This is the one that took off. And nothing really inside to be, nothing really wrong with it. I don't know, maybe it could leak a little bit, I guess. Maybe it's been nicked, but we'll hold on to this. But there's really nothing in there that I saw that was a problem. But since we have it, I switched over a few brackets or whatever. And let me just put this air box back on, and we'll pull the plug and just take a look at that. And put the plug back in. We'll put a little juice inside the combustion chamber and spin it around. And we'll check the oil, and we'll fill it up with some fuel, and let's give it a test run. See, a little bit of soot, and look. See, this is one of the reasons why I like to put silicone or a little grease up in there. Dielectric grease is even better, because it gets wet. It's a snowblower, and of course that's not going to fire. And I put a little bit of Q-tip and that nice phosphoric acid, Lumabrite that I like, up in here. So you can see how much junk it's already pulling out, and that's in part because I know there's going to be some of that rust in here, so we need to get that out. It looks nice and clean. It's mostly on the plug, and then we'll blow that out with some compressed air. Let's put a little juice into the combustion chamber, work it down and in. And I see a little bit going right down the valve. That's good. Alright, we'll do a compression test. We'll check for spark. Move it down a little bit, let it sit. Let's do a quickie compression test on it. See what we get. And let's see how nice this machine is, if it's nice at all. Oh, you're already getting... We're 125 pounds, just about. So, you're beautiful there. Let's blow off. Let's blow it all off with the compressed air. And I'm going to put a little scuba juice in here. Let's put some silicone in that. Maybe we'll dab a little grease. Let me go find a plug, too, while we're at it, and make sure a plug is good. I'll get a better plug than that. Should have one that I can clean up. It's not so rusty. A lawnmower, it's one thing because they get hot and they're never really wet. Something like this. Okay, we'll put some silicone in that and all over the boot, and then we'll put a little grease on. And you can use a dielectric. Let me go find a plug. Cleaner. Here's a different one. The other one is too rusted. And we're going to put a little bit of no seize on it. Let's put it in. This way, it'll seal up good. It will get jammed. That's 30. All right. Once again, And a little bit more of the juice in.
Here shows some form of recognition that you can get in your work environment. There's also some form of initiation. It also shows that you can earn a little bit more money in December. You may get a bonus, you may get a promotion. There is something along
Lock that down.
that is really coming through here. So,
you know, because it's dry.
Right, very, very strong.
Breads are dry too.
Seems to be something that is a little bit different. It's
dry.
To work, because work is almost going to be like a distraction for you in regards to whatever you're overthinking.
Seats. There's a lot of times these things, they don't seat.
I'm glad to see that overthinking energy does come to an end.
It feels like you're stripping it, but you now see it. And I can tell, because it's like it's a little looser again. And then, alright, put a little silicone on the boot inside. Okay, and a little bit on the boot.
It's really interesting, but I have a feeling like this nice
with a rubber, and it'll help keep it dry.
Yeah.
A little bit on the wire itself. And it'll soak in.
There's one thing you need to know, Capricorn, is that you're getting stronger throughout the course of December.
Alright, let's check the oil.
You're feeling much more rejuvenated.
I mean, some people get a can of this stuff, Liquid Ranch or whoever, and just go. You could do the whole damn machine before you use it. And boy, it makes life so much easier. Let's just see what the oil is doing. There's no dipstick on this model. They cheap out a lot on these. And that's how they make the thing cheaper. By making it cheaped out. Is it dipstick? Oh, there is a little bit. Okay, so it's going to need a little oil. Well, we're going to do an oil change anyway. But I just want to know. Probably burned a little bit because it's hard working. You know, these aren't that big. A lot of times when they're new, they'll burn a little bit more oil. Yeah. Just add a little bit. Alright, let me get some gas in it. There's no electric start on it, but it doesn't need it. Mine has electric start. So, flat tires. Alright there, G Money. Tank is empty, but it doesn't look dirty. So, let me put some gas in it. And we'll test it. We'll do a will it start. Alright, let's prime it up. Okay, so choke, full, choke and full. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's because I just put a lot in there. Now, I think this is the run and stop. I don't know. Let's see if it starts without me touching that. I guess this is the kill. I don't know. No, that's not the kill. Maybe it is. Let's let it warm up. Okay, it runs well. That little bit of surging that you hear, a good question to ask, is it lean or is it rich? It smells a little rich, but these Tecumsehs tend to smell a little rich. Let the plug cool down, we'll check it again. We'll check the plug and see. I tried to turn a little bit of choke on and see, it kind of liked it, so it's telling me it's a little lean. It could be a lean miss. And when I pull this on, which is the auger, right, we get a little less of that miss because it's under load, so it might be pulling a little bit more fuel. Or maybe it needs the fuel, the extra fuel that it's got, and that's why it's missing. But usually lean is miss. So we're going to let it air out in here. We'll get to the next step. I think my guy is here, so let me see. Alright, let's get some chain wax on that. There's really not a lot to do underneath here. This basically slips about both sides. It just slips out of the way. So let's put, a good thing to use would be chain wax, because it's going to stay. It's a lubricant that's going to stay on there when it waxes up. It'll go in right now and it'll provide, but it's a standard transmission, so we'll put a little chain wax on the gears and a little bit on the bushing, because like I said, it'll stay. And it doesn't have one of those skid wheels. I think our guy is here. Alright. Okay. Alright, so I cleaned it up good, and we put a little bit of the spray lube on there, the chain wax, which is like a wax, really. It dries like a wax. And we'll just put a little bit of grease. You don't need a lot, just it'll run in. So you don't need to grease every tooth, because it was filled with chain lube on it. So just put some, wad some grease into this. Not much, because you don't want it flying all over the place. But just put a little bit, and it'll roll in. All right. And I lubed up the bushings on the sides. These plastic bushings, you could put a little bit of chain wax in. And we have our new tires here, so these are nice. All right, you want to check them and see what the air is on them. Let's see, max load 230 pounds, 24 psi cold, so they're a little warm. But we can find out what they are right now. And nice out today. Let's just see what they are right now. We don't need the heat on. Oh my goodness. Oh my God, there's another thing I gotta fix. That thing is chattering away. Let's turn the heat down. Don't need that running. So let's just see what we got for pressure in the tires. And let's see, 15 pounds. So it's up to 24. I say put like 24. I say put half of that in there. 24 psi cold. So let's put like, 15 or so pounds in there, because you want a lot of pressure. You don't want a lot of pressure. You want to just make it so that it has better traction. If this doesn't have chains, why is this thing still on? Let's check it now. Feels like it comes up fast. There's not a lot in here. There we go. That's 15 pounds. There you go. 24 is a lot. Holy shit. Why is that thing still running? Shut it off. There we go. Alright, so we got spray lube. We got a wax on the shaft. So you won't have any issues there. Bearings are a little waxed. Yeah, and what we can do is we can put a little bit more wax. Oh, see, this thing comes off so easy. Let me show you what's going on. Let's just turn it the other way. And we'll spray the other side. of the shaft itself. Spray that side a little bit. Just to be thorough. Get some into the bushing a little bit more. Do this side into the plastic bushing. It's crap because it's, you know, you got plastic bushings here, but that'll dry and it'll protect the shaft. It's really good. It's similar to Cosmoline. And you got to hold the shaft because it'll slide all the way through. This is basically what holds the shaft on, and I don't know if it's the right length or not. Yeah, it's not. Okay, so this is, we can obviously see we're going to need to make bushings. I'm going to move you back and you'll see what I'm saying. Right, it's not the right tire. Even though it looks like it is, it's not. And we may want to cut a piece off of this. See, because this is longer, all right, because it's what holds the shaft from moving back and forth. So what we need to do is we need to take a total length, and what we're going to do is we're actually going to cut off what's needed to be cut off, and we're going to bush it. So we're not anywhere near done, and I'm going to show you what I mean on the table more, and you can see what I mean here. See? So we'll have to do that so it fits on there, because otherwise what happens is this shaft, the only thing that's holding it on is the tires. It will slide right off that pinion gear. Those two gears will demesh and slide back and forth. This whole thing slides. So let me go and get something to measure this with so I can figure out how I want to measure it. Put it up on the workbench and we'll start cutting. Probably use a pipe cutter. Okay, so lay it flat. We're going to take this part of the caliper and push it down in, right, till it bottoms, and just try to hold it and just bottom it. Right, that's our measurement. Alright, so we have a total length of, that's 3.5 and almost an eighth, not quite. If you went an eighth, it'd probably be a little bit better. So make it a little bit longer. 3.5 and 5/8. Let's say 3 5/8. And what's this one? Let's do the other one. Okay. So originally it's 3 5/8, and now, see, they can't even give you, maybe there was bushings that came with it, I don't know, I don't have those. So from 3 5/8 to 3, just under 3 inches. So you need like 5/8. So this is about a 1/16 under. So I'd say if we did 3 5/8, so we need a good 5/8 of this. So let's dial it up to 5/8. Just get a different ruler. Alright, so you need to cut and leave 5/8 of this. So let me get a marker and I'll set up. And I'll just take a ruler. And we'll use this because it's the right size and it's the right material. And we'll allow this to be our bushing. And we're going to, obviously, I think we're going to need 2. So we're going to check both of them to make sure. Let me go get the other one. I'll check the other one to make sure that both are the same. They should be. All right, I'm just going to take my square, lay it on there. You can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to take the square, lay it on top, and we'll make a mark in a clean spot. And so I want to leave this material here. Okay. So we want to put our cutter on the outside of that mark. And let me go see if my pipe cutter will do it. Alright, so I got it set up in the vise. And maybe the lights will get a little bit brighter in here a little bit. I don't know. I'll turn another one on, but it has to warm up. I'm going to just cut behind this line if I can. And I don't know if I can get in here. I might need a longer blade. You know, it's very, very close. But we're going to try and see if I can. If not, I can use a different saw. Just leaving the line, cutting the tape I'm using, by the way, is another line that's straight. And you know, you can actually put a lot of tape on it, and that will force the blade to try to stay in line. But if you just go slow, okay, let me see. Yeah, it's getting there. It's hard because it doesn't want to cut because it's pushing me away. Leaving excess so we can walk it in if we have to. Alright, I'm going to do the other one now. Let me get that. Hold on, let me get it. Alright, let's see how he did. That looks pretty good. Alright, let me clean this up. And we'll make the next one. Okay, same way. I want to fit it on there and see what it feels like. Alright, we got to remember to fill up the tires too, because I don't remember if I filled up the tires all the way. Let me cut another one. Alright, almost done. Wipe down, everything checked out, everything put on. Just going to let that dry. I wiped it down. We're going to blow a little bit of paint in the bottom. Everything is still aligned. I got to get the junk out of there, whatever got wrapped around the shaft. So let me pull that out of the way, and then we'll pull the oil out, what's left of whatever oil is there, and we'll do an oil change on it. And then it'll be ready, and I can put a price tag on it tomorrow. I'll take it outside in the sun and take some pictures of it and get it for sale for the weekend, so in case somebody wants to buy it. Good time to buy. Alright, I just got to pop oil in it, and I'll start it up outside tomorrow, but I'll pop oil in it. I'll put the paint on the inside of the drum in a little bit after I put the oil in. But I just wanted to show you something. Oh God, what the hell is that on the radio? Anyway, let's go outside. I know it's getting dark. I just picked this one up a little while ago. I know you can't see it. We'll get a shot of it tomorrow, but boy, this is a big machine for a little motor. But this is how they used to make them. This is 24 inches wide. Toro. 5 horsepower. Probably has points in it. But this thing was so heavy getting it out. Now, we'll show you tomorrow. We'll restore it. This thing was nice back in the day. A lot of gears, a lot of goodies. This is worth money. Not a lot of money. Probably if I were to restore it and put the paint back and everything, get the Toro red. Probably, I want to say in today's market, because it's an old machine, at least $250. Sold, because it's older. Somebody might give you, if you do a really nice job, you might get $350. Because for what it is, it's a real snowblower, and I got it delivered for $40. The guy gave up on it. It needs some engine work. It's got bolts coming out of it. We'll look at it tomorrow. Anyway, I gotta go. Let's go finish what we're doing, and I'll be back in a little bit. And back to the horror in here.